That's a better one. That one's really good. Holy.
There you go, girl.
That one's much better. Hope it's a bass. That's a bass.
Well, Violet's hooked up there in the front, but we're just out here fishing some cold front bass. We had our first frost of the year the other day up here, and just slowing down the presentation and throwing some minnow-style baits after these bass are putting on that feed bag, getting a little fatter for the fall. It's a good one.
I'm gonna flip her in, get ready.
Come on here, boy.
It's not as big as I thought, but it's still a bass. Nice little largie there.
Chunky.
We are fishing Lake Geneva, and we are in Geneva Bay right now. We're gonna go after some shallow water bass. They're coming into the warmer water to feed right now. These are roamers, so they're a little sporadic. This has been an area in Geneva Bay where the wind's blowing into the shoreline, so it's pushing that bait in, but he came in and swiped in on it, you know, right by the boat.
That big old steamboat just came through, and it's got a big paddle on the back, and it's churning up that water. And if you look, there's a sand/dirt slick that it left behind. It's gonna stir up all the clams, mussels down there, and them fish are gonna hopefully start sifting through it and eating.
I'm on. I don't know what this is. He's digging. That's a smallie.
Yep, nice smallmouth. Get in the boat.
Got him. That's a decent smallie. I'm surprised to see him. The smallmouth that I normally would catch would be out there. But they're starting to come in, so in that transition period, they're still scattered, they're still roaming, but they're starting to look for the bait in shallower, warmer waters. So it's nice to see one of these small. But look at this guy. Apparently he got hit by something.
All right, fish on. We just changed our baits. Violet's been tearing them up on the Alabama rig. So I said, I think we need a little more flash. And there we go. Little 14-inch largemouth there. These fish are in this wind-blown corner here. It's causing quite a disturbance here. But the cool thing about that is like that boat we were just talking about, it's turning up that water and you got bait fish scattered all over. And these fish are just now starting to group together, so they're looking for each other, which makes it a little harder because it's that in-between phase, that in-between summer phase where they're mostly by themselves or offshore to where they're now coming inshore to put the feed bag on and find each other, especially those brown ones.
So you'll see all this bait's gonna come down the break about 20 feet, and you're gonna see bigger marks underneath and littered in between the bait, and that's our smallmouth. So they're grouping up right now just to start feeding on bait and staging. But they're all kind of mixed in. So this is a mixture of bluegill, perch, and I know that because I've been catching them. And we'll have smallmouth interspersed in there, and it just goes all the way down the break from 18 feet all the way down to 30, 35, sometimes further down.
Bigger one.
Do I need a net?
I'll flip it.
Are you sure?
Sure.
Are you sure? What were you saying about never catch a fisher?
Come here, buddy. It could come right in here. Hey, but that's okay, that's okay. The thing is, we finally found this shoreline here that's windblown, and the sun just went under the trees on this side, so that might be the ticket. Get it back in the water. Throwing a new Strike King spinnerbait here, and just trying to make it look as natural as possible. You know, I used a translucent skirt on it because this water is so darn clear. When you hear gin clear, this is what they're talking about. Water that we're over 12 feet of water right now. There's no sunlight in the sky, and I can see the bottom. So you gotta be stealthy with these fish, and you gotta do things a little differently than what everyone else is doing. Hooked up.
Yep.
Hooked up.
About the same about what Jim's got, what Jim had.
Hey, we're in the school of 2-pounders. Get them in here, a little bigger.
Yep.
Blades seem to be working, Violet.
I think blades work.
Blades are working.
Boat traffic's down. I mean, granted, boat traffic hasn't been around all year long, but these fish are on a clock. So these fish know, you know, it's this time in the afternoon, everything starts to die down, they come out and they start to feed.
It's great to have a lake like this within an hour from Milwaukee or Chicago. Lake Geneva is an unbelievable fishery. It's really a fish-topia from muskie to perch. It has it all, but I have to be honest, Violet, this Skeeter here, the FXR, it's been riding great in these rough fall weather.
Even though this is a bass boat, the Skeeter FXR 21 handles the waves, the wind, 3-foot, 4-foot waves. It just does an amazing job when it comes to handling. And you don't have to be an expert as a bass boat driver. And you know, when it comes to upgrading your boat and adding the things that you need on it, Lake County Watersports, hands down, can do everything that you need them to do for your boat. They're a family-owned, independent-owned, small business out in Wakanda, Illinois, but even though they're a small business, they can handle big stuff. They have hundreds and hundreds of boats coming through every month. They deal with different types of brands, but they just do a fantastic job when it comes to service, and they'll get you on the water ASAP.
Well, just like that, the end of another great day of fishing here on Lake Geneva. We lost some, but we found some. We caught a bunch of fish, we marked some. Do you think you have a good idea for your tournament this weekend?
Absolutely. I mean, these fish, just because they didn't bite today doesn't mean that they're not going to tomorrow, and we've marked plenty of fish. They're everywhere in this lake.
It's a very healthy lake. Hey, if someone wants to grab one of these beautiful skeeters or check out what Lake County Watersports has to offer, where do they get more information?
They can go to lakecountywatersports.com, and you can just send us a message or an email or fill out the form right on the website, and that's the way you can get in contact with them.
For Violet Talley, I'm Jim O'Neill. Stay tuned for more Midwest Outdoors.